Thanks, Steve, and yet another world-class field over at the 200-metre mark for the start of this 5,000 metres. It includes the fastest man in the world in 1989, Yobish Ondieki, and the Olympic champion at this distance, John Ngugi, both from Kenya, of course. There are 3 Australians in the field: Malcolm Norwood, Andrew Lloyd and Pat Carroll, the 3 Australian representatives. But the main challenge may well come from the English runners, including the man in the foreground, that's Jack Buckner, number 337, and Mark Rowland, number 396. A withdrawal from this event is the winner of the 10,000 metres, Eamon Martin, who has a virus, the 3rd Englishman. He has a virus and he is not taking his place in the field. And it's the New Zealander Kerry Roger who goes straight to the lead from Andrew Lloyd from Australia, and then back to Pat Carroll. And at number 396 is Mark Rowland, the English champion at this distance. And in the early stages, the 3 Kenyans, Ondieki, Tanui, and Ondieki, Tanui, and Ngugi, back towards the middle of the field. Roger's taking them out fairly quickly, Steve Monaghetti.
Yes, and no one's going with him. The Kenyans are certainly very cagey sitting at the back, but wait for it. Something could happen very shortly.
How do you expect this race to unfold?
I think John Ngugi's going to break the field up by putting a solid lap in, probably in the middle stages. But without Eamon Martin, that could change the face of the race a little bit.
So Kerry Roger, number 807, the New Zealander, is leading this 5,000 metre field. He set a New Zealand national record in Auckland a fortnight ago and appeared to be running in very good form, but his performance in the 10,000 metres was perhaps a little bit disappointing. So now he's being wheeled in initially by Pat Carroll from Australia. He's number 42. Andrew Lloyd is still there, and Rowland on the inside. And now Yobish Ondieki starting to move up, and he's in 5th place, followed on the outside by Ngugi. I think the best way to try and distinguish these Kenyans is to tell you that Ondieki has the red shoes, Ngugi has the yellow shoes, and Moses Tanui has no shoes. Now, this is Kerry Roger, the New Zealander, and he still leads the 5,000 metres field from Carroll of Australia, Lloyd of Australia, Rowland of England, and I'm just looking for Malcolm Norwood, who at this stage, the 3rd Australian, is back towards the rear of the field, although he's starting to... Oh, and there's a fall. There's an interesting fall, and it's involved one of the Kenyans and...
Jack Buckner.
And Jack Buckner, it's John Ngugi, the Olympic champion, that fell. Well, that really is going to throw this race wide open now. And it's Ngugi who's really starting to run hard at the back of the field, trying to make up the ground that he lost. What a tragedy for the Olympic champion, John Ngugi, who fell, and it's left Kerry Roger out in front from Carroll, Lloyd and Rowland, and Ondieki is the best placed of the Kenyans. Here's a replay of it, Steve. Let's have another look. And down goes Ngugi, and he takes Buckner down with him. 2 of the fancies in the event.
Yeah, and look at him still charging back up already. This is unbelievable. Look at this.
Well, there's a spirited sprint from the Olympic champion, and he will now have the sympathy of this huge crowd at Mount Smart. There is no question about that. And within a lap, he's gone into the lead. And he said, well, if that's what's going to happen to me, you can earn the gold medal. If you're going to take it off me, you really are going to have to work for it now. John Ngugi, who led throughout the best part of the Olympic 5,000 metre final. He doesn't have a big sprint finish. He needs to go fairly early. And they've got 9 laps to run as they come down to... With 9 laps to run, they go through the start-finish line, or through the finish line in this event, and they're running at a fairly reasonable pace. So with 8 laps to run now, as they come round the next time, we're going to take a break. Then we'll be back for the exciting concluding stages of the 5,000 metres. Well, welcome back to a sensational 5,000-metre final. It's still John Ngugi, the Olympic champion, that leads this field from Williams of Canada and Rowland of England. Remembering that Ngugi fell and had to make up some 50 metres, but a further sensation when the #1 ranked athlete in this event in the world, Yovish Ondieki, also fell, and he's now struggling to stay in touch with the field. It's going to be interesting now, Steve, just to see what that sprint from Ngugi took out of him when he had to make up the ground that he lost.
It certainly doesn't look like it's taken much out of him at the moment. He's starting to break away again.
Well, Ondieki has got himself back into the race also, but he's a good 50 or 60 metres behind his teammate John Ngugi, who leads them through. And with 5 laps to run, 7 minutes, 8 minutes is the time. And so they're still running at a fairly good pace. It's John Ngugi who leads them into the back straight, the Olympic champion. And let's have a look at the fall that may well have cost Yovish Ondieki any chance of winning this 5,000 metres. A sensational race here at Mount Smart. And there you see John Ngugi, the Olympic champion. He leads Williams of Canada, who ran so well in the 10,000 metres. And then Rowland of England. They're the three leaders. And they're well out in front of the next pack that includes Kerry Roger of New Zealand. And Roger is just starting to set out after the 3 leaders, which explains the cheer that you can hear in the background. And coming through now is one of the 2 Australians in Malcolm Norwood. But this has been an outstanding performance by John Ngugi. Ngugi has opened up a lead of some 6 or 7 metres now, and he has the support of the entire crowd here at Mount Smart because of the courage that he's shown. A most unfortunate fall very early in the race. There's Yovish Ondieki, number 565.
That's Tanui, I think.